the action. Oh man, your wife's gonna have to get a manicure tomorrow. She broke her nails.
No bueno.
Shark Tales.
Woo! With Andy.
With Andy. Night 2.
Night 2.
Gold Cup week, because it's the second night we've been here, so we're going to continue to take credit for it being night 2 because we're here.
Yeah, our second night camping, and I didn't see you all day. I was out of Psycholand.
Psycholand, yes.
And you were out fixing my motorhome.
Well, that wasn't until tonight.
Well, I didn't see you all day.
Well,
what were you
leave?
doing? Were you being a social butterfly?
What time did you leave for Psycholand?
Probably like 2-ish.
Well, I didn't even get out of bed till 11. We set up shit here till 4 in the morning yesterday, or today. So not much went on at the fairgrounds today, but Psycholand had their finale of the Showcase Showdown.
Showcase,
Was Bob Barker there?
No.
Bob. Love Price is Right.
Yeah.
Not so much now with Drew. Drew's great, but Bob Barker's the man.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Oh, gee.
How'd it go?
Oh, it sucked. It's real bad. So went out there a little early, like 2:30-ish, because we had to do a motor change.
That's a lot too early.
Talk to you about that motor kind of sucking, so decided to do a motor change. Well, that motor was even worse. We lined up whole of our, they called it qualifier, but it's a heat race.
Okay.
Like, you line straight up and top 3 make the show. It's a heat race.
Okay.
And then barely won that. Yeah, sorry, Jaden Bunch. I had to spin out a 10-year-old kid, I think.
To win or to lap? Where you lapping?
To get the lead back.
Hey, I say go for it.
Sorry,
Can we
Jaden,
do,
my
like,
bad.
Trophy Cup, say.
Yeah,
It's a showcase.
You know,
Right,
you get
showcase.
It's showcase.
That's what happens. Showcase.
How do you spin somebody out? I mean, I don't see you spinning somebody out.
I know it was super greasy right on the berm, and on restarts everybody tries to get up on the berm because usually that's where all the traction is. Well, he's a young kid and went through there once and just spun the tires, got completely sideways. I backed off, almost got freight trained. I'm like, man, I'm gonna be out of a transfer
Don't do that
spot.
again.
Yeah, so the next restart happens. He did the same thing, and I
just said screw it.
basically, didn't said
Nice.
I can't
I like your
live
style.
because I need to be in this transfer spot. Sorry, bud, and spun him to the infield. It sucked. My bad.
You won the heat and you made the show. So
Won
I'd
the
say
heat,
it didn't suck.
made the show, and Grandpa said, "Yeah, that motor's even worse. We're gonna switch motors again." So
How long does it take to change a motor on those things?
Shout out to my brother-in-law Scott. Him and my grandpa. We probably busted that out maybe 20 minutes to get a scalding hot motor off it, and we also had the radiator hooked up, so had to get the radiator and the motor off, scalding hot, switch the new one on. It was probably 20 minutes. Like they kicked butt.
This is your brother-in-law Scott.
Yep.
So I
went to school with you.
I went to high school with him.
Yeah.
Small world.
Auburn.
And he was in the movie Phenomenon with John Travolta.
Yeah.
That was filmed mostly in Auburn, and we were all in high school, and all kids would go and hang out at the film at the
like the
film set or
movie
whatever.
set.
Yeah, the movie set.
Yeah.
And your brother-in-law was actually got like a 5 or 6 second clip in the movie
there's
Phenomenon.
a couple of clips with him in there. Yeah,
with John Travolta.
Cool.
So,
That was
anyways, I digress. He moved on from being a movie star to changing your motor 22 years later.
Yeah.
Hell, that was a
Poor
long time
guy.
ago. 25, 26 years later.
Yeah.
Whew.
Good times.
Okay, so how'd motor number 3 work?
Okay, so motor number 3 goes on, and we have a...
And there's Scott.
We have a...
Hi, Scott.
Oh, hey, Scott. We're just talking about you. Ears are burning. So, where the radiator hooks on to the head of the motor, that was leaking. So my grandpa said, well, we're going to have to change that. So put the hose off, change that, put the hose back on, and then it wasn't my department. Grandpa tightened that hose on, and I don't know if he over-tightened it or what, but it sliced the radiator hose. So go out for the main. 23 cars, right, Drake?
23 started, yes.
Yeah, it was a 24 car. Okay. It's really sad.
24%
Guys,
discarded.
I love Cycland. Like, greatest place to.
That makes one of us.
You're a baby though, and you've only been there once.
I've been there a few times, and I thoroughly enjoy my time there. But I've never been there when it's hot.
Yeah, it was a rough one these last couple of days, but yeah, I love Cycland, and this is the showcase to showcase outlaw kart racing and
The best of the best, right?
yeah,
Absolute.
the birthplace of Brad Sweet, Kyle Larson, like all three promoters here, like came from Cycland Speedway, and man, it was.
So I'm expecting it was a really good race.
Yeah, well, as it kind of actually was a good race, but I think 5 cars finished, maybe 6, 7.
Oh my gosh!
And it was a 24 car field. One didn't even make the starting lineup because he broke before the green flag even dropped. So
Well, how many laps did you make?
I made, I think, 1. And then there was a red. And then I look down and I see radiator fluid pouring out down the line. So I said, it's really funny because I almost thought, I could just cruise around here and I'll probably still get maybe top 10. Like, people tend to drop out of these races, especially a 40 lap
Did you
race.
say drop out or crash out?
Both.
Okay.
Both. Yeah, because 2 yellow rule. I think they have 2 yellow rule. So yeah, it happens a lot.
They need to. If they don't,
If I would have done that, I probably would have got my top 5 streak.
would the motor have lasted?
Probably.
You should just put your hand over it and just plugged it.
And it
Did you
was
think about that?
So we did have a red, and I probably could have had somebody. Hey, guys, somebody probably had some duct tape or something.
Yeah,
they
I mean,
probably could have done it.
I would
but
have maybe like made a ripped your T-shirt off and made like a tourniquet like you see in the old war movies.
I think it was the point of this was my second motor change in 110 degree weather. I'm like, I think I'm over this.
Your give a shit was just done give a shit anymore,
Kind
right?
of. Okay, so now check this out. So it was a good race. Like, the track was super technical. Like, you couldn't just be a young kid with like no brains and big balls.
Scott said I had tape.
He had what?
Your brother-in-law would have fixed your
Yeah,
rear.
he probably would have too, but yeah, thanks, Scott. So it wasn't just like hold it wide open, rip around the top. Like it was slick to the wall. It was almost like Tulare style. Like the first 2 laps, everybody I think went bullseye, like bonsai into the first corner and the third corner, and just smacked the wall, and then peak cars would pile up and cause the red. That's what happened early.
Okay. Did anybody get mad and go judo kick anybody tonight?
No,
we
not
didn't
tonight.
talk about that last night.
I know. So he didn't get kicked out.
He was there.
He was there. Jimmy was there. Jimmy Elledge.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I somebody did say, yeah, because I asked, I'm like, Andy might have heard that he got kicked out, but they said, he might have just got warned.
So last night at Psycholand, there was a crash, and another person was not happy with one of the drivers, and literally just went out there and judo kicked
CJ
the guy.
Leary'd him.
Yeah, which I mean, I have no involvement with it, so I could give a rat's ass. But I mean, I thought it was thoroughly entertaining. But I'm not quite sure what precedence it sets if you let. I mean, that tells me like, are you gonna race at Psycholand anymore this year?
Maybe.
I might go, and if somebody takes you out, I'm just gonna go up there and kick him right in the head.
Okay, cool.
I'm not gonna get kicked out.
You will
What the
not.
hell?
Just be careful. You might go to jail. They're all 14.
Well, that's true. How old was the kid that got kicked last night?
He's an older kid.
Okay.
Mid-20s, yeah. Early mid-20s.
All right. So
it was a
Shane,
Hubert. It was a Hubert. Brian Hubert.
Is that Mike? He's related to Mike Hubert?
Yeah.
The old 56 car.
Is he his son? I think, or nephew.
So Mike Hubert raced
Yeah,
Chico
they're cousins. Because Michael Hubert III,
in the early
he's now
90s.
Oh, I think you're right.
yeah, he was the son. He's now working NASCAR with Hendricks, I think, right?
Yeah.
Well, isn't there's a black 56 cart
Yeah.
that is like a replica of Mike
yeah,
Hubert's sprint
that
car?
was him.
Oh, wow.
That was
Okay,
him.
yeah. So my dad raced a little bit with Mike in the 360s, and then Mike moved on to 410s at Chico, and he had a really beautiful, I'm assuming Randy Frank lettered 56 car. It was a really pretty car for a couple years, so that's cool.
Yeah, well,
And now his kid's getting judo kicked in the face by an ex-NASCAR crew chief.
that was almost one of my favorite things of when I before I knew about go-karts, my dad took me to Red Bluff just to watch, and there was a 3C car. C.W. Tyner was the driver. I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? There's Roger Crockett was racing. I'm all, I know a Brian Crockett. What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Like, it was all these kids of these superstar racers that I knew in the sprint car world. It's like, oh, this is like my home now. And yeah, and same thing now. Like all these kids from these old-time racers, they're still racing, making circles. Fun stuff.
But you can take the race from the racer, but the racing out of the racer. Is that a saying?
I don't know.
Okay.
It is now.
All right, check out this rule. Like, Cycleland has some unique formats and rules. Like, sprint car guys did not like when they brought the Cycleland
Format.
the Cycleland format to sprint car world. That they were not happy about it because sprint car drivers, they want to qualify well and be up front. Like, that's what they want to do. But Lowell wants the fans to enjoy the best racing, put the fast guys kind of behind a little bit and watch them pass cars. The sprint car drivers don't want to see that.
Yeah, what was that format? So it was first through
If you make the trophy dash top 6, you're
6 quick.
Yes, you're
Yeah,
locked
remember
into the
that.
A.
Automatically in the A. No heat race.
Yes, so and you will run a dash, and how you finish the dash is how you line up. But you line up behind the heat race winners.
Yeah, so if you were fast time or first through 6 quick, the best you had a chance to start was 5th.
Correct.
Right? 5th
Correct.
through 10th.
Yes.
So yeah, that one year we did that format, I think I never started further up than the 3rd row.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
entire year.
Yep.
And then I never won a race because I couldn't start up front.
Yeah, poor Andy.
I think I did win a couple, but
Yeah, you big baby. So,
but it is funny. We do need to start up front. It's hard to win races from beyond row 2.
yeah, it is.
So finish your story, sorry.
So, formats, but rules also. Talk to you about the next up-and-coming kids, like, coming out of the go-kart race. I told you about this Jet Yandis kid. Super young, like, really fast. So Colby Copeland was leading, promoter here, and then all of a sudden his motor starts cutting out. Like, he's running the top.
Colby's?
Yeah, he's running the top, and it's like cutting out in the middle of the corner. So he starts running the bottom, and then it stops cutting out. It was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. So, like, he starts running the bottom, Landon Brooks passes him, but then Landon Brooks' car breaks, he hits the wall. Now this Jet Yantis kid comes.
Maybe Jimmy should have spent less time judo chopping people last night, more time maintenance in his car.
Uh-oh, maybe. Get called out, Jimmy. Sorry.
I mean, what the hell do I know?
So this Jet Yantis superstar comes railing by. Now he's in second. Now he passes for the lead. But he jumped a start like 20 laps ago.
Okay. But we haven't had a caution since that
No,
start?
we've had many cautions.
Oops. So that's a
Okay,
malfunction at the junction then.
No, this is their rule. If you jump a start, you're going to get dock 2 positions at the end of the race.
Okay. Even if there's opportunity to dock you before.
Yep. So he was
Okay.
gonna. So physically, I was kind of hoping this happened. He was physically gonna win the race, probably go out and do some Brodies and everything, and then they would say, "Oh, hey, you got docked 2 spots for jumping on lap 10." And yeah, you didn't.
I kind of like it. I'll be honest
Are you
with you.
serious?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. 'Cause
It makes
I
you
know,
not
right?
jack around and jump to start.
But that is not the case because they get called for people get jumped all the time. Like
Even though you
Either
know you're
there's-
not going to get penalized till after the
yes,
fact, and they
people
still do it.
all the time.
How
all
do you
the
call
time.
a
It's
jump
weird.
start? What do we always say?
What do you mean? How do you call it?
Sometimes it's a judgment call.
Oh well.
And it all
Is
kind of
it?
is.
You guys
a
still do the
judgment
cone?
call.
Is it a cone deal?
Okay,
That
so
makes it cut and dry.
No, because their rules are weird. So their jump is just if you get out of line, especially on the outside, like you were
Single file, double file starts here.
no, they're single file,
Okay.
and they almost have a rule like you have to start on the bottom. So even if the top's the preferred line, like you can't rail the top and take off.
Okay.
Like you almost have to be on the berm. Well, then sometimes, most of the time, the top is the preferred line. So everybody restarts there. The guys in the way back, they want to get a running start.
Uh-huh.
And they say there is technically a cone kind of way on the infield, like, but if you pass somebody on the outside, like, you're gonna get called for a jump. But if somebody slides up out of line, you can go ahead and pass them on the inside. It's really, really weird. It's very, yes.
I'm gonna have to talk to Lowell about that, give him some shit.
I was surprised you were okay with getting docked at the end of the race.
That
kind of happened to him.
I like to stick
in
the
the
screws to
race.
people that screw around.
Okay.
You want to screw around?
I get
take
it.
your lumps.
I get it. Like, yes, like, you've been this is your warning now.
You know the rule.
Don't do it.
But this rule is confusing to me, so maybe
Yes.
I don't know the rule. If it's me, I don't give a shit where you are. Here's the cone. Go by the cone in the wall.
I
Single
know.
file. It's so simple.
And it's so funny.
And there's no judgment.
I know. I get it. And it's been fun, like, at Cycleland all these years that I've been racing. Like, Lowell has tried the cone entering turn 1, like the cone in the middle, the cone on the backstretch. Like, he's tried every single, just to get a feel for what he thinks is, like,
Would be
is
the
the
simplest.
best. And I think he's just kind of gone to the point where, all right, cones by the flag stand. Like, they say no passing for the cone, but if somebody moves out of line, you can go ahead and, like, and
Okay, let me
pass.
ask, why would you move out of line then, if you know you could get
Well,
past?
so the bottom's always super slick. So a lot of guys will jump up on the berm and, like, shoot out high, or somebody just jumps on the tires and they start spinning up the track, but you're in the traction. It's like, well, I can pass you. Like, I stayed in my line. I stayed in line.
You know what my consensus is? Cycleland's just a freaking headache.
Oh, but everybody loves Cycleland. Cycleland's great. It was good racing. It was super exciting racing, but it was not a good showcase of outlaw carts. That's the thing. Like, what was it? Was it 7, 6, 5? 5 cars seriously finished in the Open A main.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's like a graveyard in the infield, because, like, they close the gates so you can't leave. I actually, like, it was an open red whenever I saw my issue, so I got out of the car and pushed it out the entrance of the track and went all the way around. But everybody brakes and they're stuck in the infield, and so you have this boneyard of broken cars and 5 cars racing around. Like, it's, yeah.
Well, that sounds like a
Unfortunate.
barn burner. 5 cars, so you go there for 10 hours and 5 cars
That's what
finished.
was hard for me to stomach. It's just like, but I mean, why I go-kart racing? I love go-karts. I love racing with my grandpa. Like,
that is cool.
me and Lisa talk about him all the time being one of our favorite people ever. He's 86 years old, 3 straight days of over 110 degree weather, and he's still changing motors like it's nothing. Like, the guy is an animal. Favorite person, Grandpa George.
Well,
Woo.
I was in the pavilion today. There was a little group of people there, and Colby was in there. And this is like, I'm gonna say 6:30. So I'm like, Colby,
I was getting in the car for wheel pack at that point.
aren't you racing Cycleland? He goes, yeah. I'm like, Becker left hours ago. He goes, yeah, it's too hot. I don't need to be there this early. I'm like, okay. And then Brad looks at him and says, you're racing tonight? Colby goes, yeah. And Brad looks at what he was drinking. He goes, don't you think you should stop drinking those? Colby goes, yeah, maybe I should. I don't remember what it was, but it must have worked pretty good.
it was fast
High
juice.
octane.
Yeah,
It was,
high octane fast juice.
he
Oh man,
he must not have affected him too much.
dude. Well, I told him it was pretty impressive. The day before, he jumped in the car and qualified, and it, like, we do get hot laps at Cycleland, but like Red Bluff, that's cutthroat. Like, you get there, no time on the track, you got 2 laps, and that's qualifying.
So
And that
your
sets
first
up
2
the rest
laps
of your
is your
day.
hot laps in qualifying?
Yes. So
Yikes.
so here for Cycleland, it's a little better. You get to hot lap and get a feel for the track, get a feel for the car. But then I watched him qualify, and that thing looked like it was a handful. He was jumping all over the place, and then,
That's what those pieces of shit do.
but the second lap, like, he figured it out. Like, he did a great. He's a good driver. Like, he knew what to do. Like, oh, I just got to adjust this. And I complimented him today. I'm all, dude, that was pretty impressive. You did that. He's all, oh yeah, the hood was or the throttle was sticking, is what he said. I was going like 10 yards deeper than I wanted to, and once I figured that out, I was all right. Well, it only took you a lap, so that was impressive. And then he just kicked everybody's butt with a motor that was cutting out. So
my throttle was sticking here. The bike night race, I could feel something was dicked up in the throttle.
On your bike?
No, on the race car. I didn't get on a bike. Hell no. And so I didn't want to screw with it too much after I took after I took the checker.
Yeah.
So I get in the pits. So I'm pulling in my trailer and I'm being very cautious. So I pop it out of gear and I just want to kind of screw with it to see what the hell is going on here. But I think everybody thought I was throwing a fit because I pushed the throttle down and the fucking thing went like 10,000 RPMs. And everybody's looking like, no, I'm not mad that I didn't qualify good. My car's a piece of shit. The throttle's sticking. But yeah, the
You
throttle
fit
sticking.
in well at Cycleland.
The throttle sticking's kind of that's a sensitive issue having. But yeah, figured it out. Good for him.
Yeah, go-karts are always tough too because the hood is like inches from the pedal, and like the way the roll cage like rocks when you get in the corner, the hood always hits, not always, but it hits the throttle a lot. So like you go to lift.
Maybe designing a different hood.
Yeah.
You know what? I'd have no hood. Screw it. Is there any necessity for a hood?
I don't know. They might have a rule, but I've seen them race without it.
At Red Bluff, they used to do that.
Yeah.
I did
Just
see,
like, oh, he got in a
Your
crash. Well,
legs
just rip
hanging
it
out
off.
there,
Like, all right.
and like, no, that's scary.
Ryan Brown used to do that.
No
at Red
down
Bluff every
tube.
time
they
he had a
they
crash.
cracked down on the numbering on the clone carts. I saw that. They wanted the clone carts to have like 10-inch numbers. Cracking the whip on those guys.
Was that Drake?
What's that?
Okay, so while you were at Cycleland having a fun old time,
Did that sound fun?
well, I don't know. Does it sound fun putting an air conditioning unit on top of your motorhome? Sound fun?
I don't know, but I'm gonna sleep good tonight, right?
Your wife and I got up there, changed the damn air conditioning unit. Drunk ass PT Shocks Cody came over, somehow
go,
got
Cody.
up the ladder.
Way to go!
He helped us. Ryan Robinson carried the unit halfway up the damn ladder on his shoulder.
Okay, we discussed I ripped the ladder off our motorhome, right?
Yeah, I climbed up it anyways.
yesterday. Yes, this guy climbed up it. Like, it's got no
Spider-Man.
screws on the top. There's no screws holding it in. That's how light this guy is. Like, he just climbed right up there and it didn't fall over.
Giselle.
Like a gazelle. Jeez.
Is it Gazelle or Giselle? It's Giselle who Tom Brady's
Giselle.
married to.
That's just.
Oh, I'd rather be a Giselle any day.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I don't suggest not having an expert look at it because you had your wife who doesn't know shit, me who doesn't know shit, Cody's a mechanic and he was drunk as shit. So somebody who knows what the hell's going on ought to look at it. But here's the caveat: the thing works and you got
Yes.
cold air.
Woo woo!
Yeah.
Way to go, guys.
And we have another unit that we can put on the front.
Well, hey,
tomorrow.
let's not go that far. I ain't going up there tomorrow. I got racing to do tomorrow. I'm gonna be calm, cool, and collected. I'm gonna eat right tomorrow. While Yahoo here goes golfing. You're doing the Clyde Lamar Hall of Fame golf
I
tournament?
am. I found out a couple days ago. Brian Cannon, he wants to go.
Oh Jesus, Cannon! He'll find some way to cheat the system. You guys will shoot a freaking negative freaking 400 under par somehow.
That's how. Yeah, we're gonna win it. Win it
All
away.
right. So you're gonna go golfing tomorrow.
Yep.
What kind of golfer are you? What kind of what is that called when you're?
There's a handicap.
Handicap, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't really have one. It'd be like 14-ish, 12 to 14-ish probably.
So that means
Over par.
So okay, so you're just literally over 14 strokes over what they say you should hit.
You basically, yeah.
That sounds to me relatively good.
It's okay. Yeah.
I'm assuming if I went golfing with you tomorrow, I'd be like 200
I've
over
been-
par.
I went golfing with you before.
Yeah, your uncle was
My
worried I was
uncle-
going to get us kicked off the course.
Yes.
Course with how I was driving the
And-
golf cart.
And like he was worried about the groups in front of us and
And
groups
behind us.
beside us. Like they were gonna get hit and taken out.
Hey, I like driving the golf cart. That's my favorite part of it. Hitting the ball part, not so much.
Craig's way too much of a golf etiquette guy
Oh,
to go
he is,
golfing with
too.
this guy.
It's so funny. Like, yeah, because like there is definitely golf etiquette and like pace of play is definitely a thing. Like keep up with the group in front of you. Like if the group behind you's pushing, you need to keep going. So like, yeah, he's definitely a guy that's always looking back. Like, oh guys, we gotta get going. Hey, stop talking. Like, focus. Let's hit this. Like,
Good God, it sounds like work. I will
Yeah,
never
sometimes.
forget, halfway through, he actually looked at me very seriously. He says, Andy, have you ever been kicked off of a golf course before? Because you're about ready to. Like, shit, if I wanted to be serious like this, I would have just stayed at work. Thought we were here to have fun. But yeah, I don't think he liked, like, when I loosen the golf bag, so when the golf cart drives off, the bag flies
oh,
off.
that's great. That's a
He
great.
didn't appreciate when I ran his
prank.
ball over and smashed it into the ground. Stuff that I think is pretty funny.
It is funny. It's great stuff.
Bump drafting the golf cart in front of me. I mean,
Yes.
that's what you do in a golf cart. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
It needs to happen.
Okay,
Talk
well,
about what you do in a golf cart. You were training people in golf
Oh yeah, I
carts
trained
tonight.
Chris Brock Jones tonight to do 360s in the lawn, and she
That
knocked over
was
my dad's
my biggest
chair.
regret today is not being able to see that. I heard that was pretty entertaining.
She actually did get in trouble for doing too many skid outs during the golf cart parade by the promoter. He got on her, and then somebody did run over a water main out there. So Sweet got a good, another eye-opening experience about what it's like to have your own racetrack, because there's a water main out there that looked like Old Faithful.
Oh man.
And those campers out there, coincidentally, do not have water tonight. So it sucks to be them. But they're what? Oh,
Yeah, they're all
they
good.
can take a shower in their beer. Okay, so
Tomorrow.
good luck playing golf tomorrow. Do you want to be the
Thanks,
first
Hans.
one out so you don't have to, like, what, at a tournament, does it matter when, or do you
It's
start on like hole
shotgun.
9?
Yeah, it's
okay.
shotgun. Like they assign you
So
a
everybody
hole and-
starts at the same time,
Yep,
basically.
and you'll essentially end at the same time.
And what time is that?
I think
8
like
o'clock.
eight or
Oh my
8
God.
o'clock.
It's 12:40.
Yeah.
Last year he didn't go to bed till 5:30.
Yes, last year he went golfing
Yeah,
after
we
the
had
blacklight party.
Karen watching us the whole time last year.
Oh man, that is right. That was
Karen
That
was-
was a.
Did you even go to bed?
That was a lot of
What are
fun.
you guys doing?
I think he slept 30 minutes.
One more song. One more
Yeah.
song.
So last year,
And you guys walked your asses
And
back because
Karen.
we left you.
the black.
Karen was there
party
the whole time?
Fun as hell. Sean and I tore it up.
Yeah, we did.
They said it was the best black light party ever because we were there. I almost said Black Lives Party.
That was a different party.
Yeah, we weren't shutting
You
no
weren't invited
freeways
to
down
that
or
one.
nothing. I mean, it was Black Light Party. Okay, we got people coming here. We got to cut
Yes.
this show short. Okay. Good luck at golf tomorrow.
All right. And
Don't get too tired because you have to race tomorrow.
You want me to get tired, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna kick some butt tomorrow, huh? You got the Old Faithful
Hey,
car.
Hi guys. Oh man, it's like paparazzi
Yeah.
here. Okay, we'll talk about tomorrow's race. We're gonna have racing to talk about tomorrow night.
Yeah,
so
we are. Good
real
racing.
racing, not
And
cycling
good racing.
bullshit go-kart crap.
Can you both do well tomorrow? Let's try
That's a
that.
great question, actually.
Can we do well together?
When
yes.
was the last time? Like, you've done well, I've sucked ass.
Yeah, that's
You've
been
sucked
happening
ass,
a lot.
I've done well.
Yeah.
What are the odds? We have decent odds tomorrow because there's not that many cars. We're in the 32 range.
I might actually make the show.
We only have to outdo like 8 cars. Okay,
Oh, we have a theme song.
You already have a theme
I say
song.
we both kick ass tomorrow and we both come on Shark Tales and brag about it
Yeah.
tomorrow night. Or
Let's do it.
today, actually.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, good night.
Or